Why doesn't eufyMake use open bottle ink? Why insist on sealed cartridges and make your own ink? That's the question we get the most from our community. So let's break it down from tech to safety and everything in between. UV ink is honestly a kind of magic survey. It is super fast printing, delivers amazingly vibrant colors, and it works on all kinds of materials. But here is the catch survey. It is also sensitive. Leave it in the light for too long and it hardens on its own. Leave it out in the air too long and it goes bad. Temperature changes, yeah, that messes with print quality. And if the photoinitiator touches your skin, it can actually cause chemical burns. In a factory setting, you've got trained staff, climate-controlled rooms, full safety gear. But in your home or studio, temperatures fluctuate, refilling ink is risky. And once the ink's exposed to air and light, all of that can lead to safety hazards and wreck your print quality. Look at top industrial UV printers like Roland or Mimaki. We all use official sealed inks. Using third-party ink is very risky, and the manufacturer will directly void the warranty. Now, as the first ever consumer-grade UV printer, we wanted to take full responsibility for regular user safety and experience. So we went with the industry's best seal solution: fewer clogs, less maintenance, better safety and print quality. Sure, some industrial printers use open ink systems. They're cheaper, but they clog like crazy. But those machines come with pro maintenance engineers who show up to fix things. Consumers don't get that, which is why eufyMake's fully sealed cartridge is designed the way it is: no windows, no refilling, just a fully sealed quick swap system. Sealed is the industry standard for professional quality, and it is also a necessary protection for home safety.
Open ink has 4 major problems in home use scenarios. The first one is safety risks.
Photoinitiators are strong oxidants. Direct skin contact may cause allergies, rashes, or even irreversible tissue damage. Contact with eyes is extremely dangerous. Poor stability. Once opened, the ink is exposed to air and light, which may cause it to cure prematurely, forming clumps in the tubing or even inside the printhead. Temperature sensitivity. The viscosity of UV ink changes with temperature. If it is too cold, the ink won't spray. If it is too hot, it may cause color shift or white streaks. Compatibility issues. Different UV ink brands have different formulation ratios. Mixing the wrong formulas can lead to clumping or separation, resulting in flocculation,
which can clog and damage the E1 printhead.
It might work, but actually there are several hidden problems. The first one, it breaks the pressure balance of the system. Drilling a hole in the cartridge messes up the pressure balance of the ink supply system, which can cause the printhead to drip ink or spray abnormally. The ink may not match the system. Different inks have different viscosities, surface tension, and pigment particle sizes. Official ink is tuned for eufyMake's filters, tubing, ink bags, and jetting settings. Pouring incompatible third-party ink into eufyMake's ink supply system will cause a pressure mismatch in the ink pass. Over time, this not only affects print quality, but also greatly increases the risk of printhead clogs. Ink production quality control. eufyMake's official ink is produced in a dust-free environment with strict filtering and particle size control, so it is really clean. Third-party inks usually don't go through such strict controls, so it's hard to guarantee their cleanliness or particle size uniformity. Also, when you pour ink yourself, dust can easily enter the system. Dust builds up in the ink pass over time, which leads to printing problems. On top of that, different brands use different dispersants. If you mix them, the pigment can clump together and settle, directly causing print failures and potentially damaging the printhead. We wanted to make sure the ink was both safe and environmentally friendly, while still delivering print quality comparable to industrial machines that cost hundreds of thousands. But with the suppliers we initially worked with, none of them could really meet that standard. So in the end, we decided to work together with our suppliers to develop a new ink from the ground up and redefine what consumer-grade UV ink should be. So we've been focusing our ink R&D on a few key areas. First, a formula that's safe and eco-friendly. cartridges comply with 5 major international environmental standards. More importantly, prints made with eufyMake ink have earned Green Guard Gold certification, one of the strictest low-emission certifications worldwide, controlling 360 plus VOCs. That means your printed work can be safely used in places with very high air quality requirements, like kids' rooms and schools. The eufyMake is one of the very few UV printer brands with this certification. Second, to make sure every box of ink is stable and reliable, we've built a full chain quality management system that includes a sealed cartridge design and strict, high-standard production quality control. The temperature is controlled 5 to 25 degrees Celsius, from raw material to your hands. Every step stays sealed, so you can focus on creating, not worrying about ink quality. Our goal is simple: make UV printing consumer-friendly, plug-and-play for home use. You don't need to be a chemistry major to get stable and professional results. Sealed cartridges are more secure, more stable, and more eco-friendly. And that's not just a technical decision, it's eufyMake keeping a promise to every creator.
To ensure users' safety and high quality ink control, ink usage costs have increased. However, we have heard your feedback, and we will be launching an ink subscription plan in May. Participants will receive a 50% to 30% discount. Additionally, a high-capacity continuous ink supply system will be launched in Q3. Here is our mock-up sample, and which will reduce ink usage costs by 50%. White ink and gloss inks are used in high quantities, so we have designed a 1000 milliliters cartridges. CMYK ink are used related less, so we have designed a 300 milliliters cartridges. Please stay tuned.